All right, y'all. Part 9. 8, 9. I think at 9. Uh, I'm going to try really hard again to not make it a 45-minute video. I do my best. All right. I did realize last time that in the kitchen I had just left the little, I have to find it, the little builder spotlights that I use a lot. I do tend to do that in kitchens most of the time because that is something in game I need to be able to see easily. I want to be able to click on it without having to fight it. Um, but you can also go. I think there is still one in this kitchen somewhere. There it is. Right there. Okay. Um, but what also looks really nice, even if you do that, is to go and grab one of these kind of pendant lights and drop it over the bar. It just gives it a nice look. Do the same thing with one of these. I think I like this one. I think I like these. Just kind of drop something there. Um, I'm I'm always ambivalent on these things because I do like them, but a lot of them stay up in gameplay, and I don't know why. It bugs me. All right, we gotta put that back. But you can also shrink these, so you can get it to where you know. Find your happy spot where it doesn't bother you. All right, moving on. Dining room. Now, I think I am actually going to stick with the same green color because it is just currently being my happy spot. I'm going to stick with the wood floor. You can also like change part of the floor to tile, things like that. All kinds of stuff, right? Let's go back down to our lighting. Filter back to base game. Definitely want a kind of center chandelier farmhouse piece. I don't know if I want that one. I think I want this one. I like these guys. Is that too fancy? Maybe too fancy. Whoop, whoops. Delete the light, not your whole room. Undo button is a beautiful thing. Ooh. Oh, this has got the nice kind of vibe. Okay. It's a little too yellow toned, so I'm going to take it down to that one. Uh, because I am running Tool, I have that in, or sorry, Better Build By. I have that in build mode. If not, you can do the exact same thing in live mode though. All right. Dining table. I want a big one. Something. It's gonna kind of pop off with color here. Grays. Ooh, kind of like that. Is that a little too fancy though? That might be a little too fancy. Oh, I like that too, with that color. These always look so weirdly skinny to me. Um, and especially like when the Sims are eating at them. So a lot of times I will do two like that. And then again, if you're using Tool, you can shrink one of them to 0.9999. You can slide them to where they're just touching, not actually overlapping. It just looks weird to me to have this really skinny, especially in the bigger sizes, uh, big tables. But it's like you sit at the table and you're like crammed up on top of each other. Ooh, I actually like the white wood there. Okay, I'm gonna use that one. Let's get a good chair. Something that has white and light brown. Do we have like a white and dark brown? No. Just white? No. I like the wood look better. Oh, this might be fun. Does it only come in? Oh, I like that. I'm gonna use that. And you could put, head of the table or leave it for a high chair. If you have kid packs. Um, High chairs can slot into any place that you want them to, any chair slot. They can also fit like that in between too. I'm going to put one at the end of the table. I don't actually know what, family this is going to be, but we're going to assume they're going to have a kid at some point. So they now have a high chair for their kid. And let's add, I don't want to put a bar in. I'm going to skip that. You obviously can, of course. Let's get some curtains though. Yeah, just the tall ones maybe. Let's see. What kind of color do we want in here? Play up the green a little bit maybe. Ooh, actually I think I'm going to do the yellow. A little bit of bright. Bring in some bright color there. It kind of plays with the little painting on my chairs. All right, let's go to surfaces. Let's see. I'm trying to think where there it might be. So I know we have the one cabinet that makes a china hutch, and we could absolutely use that again. We can. If there was one in here or not in storage, there is not. Okay, let's go back up here. I might do a cabinet sideboard. Do we want like a sideboard table, or do we want a full cabinet? Not liking any of those. That's pretty, but that's definitely not the right. Ooh, that's colorful. That's a little too fall. Fancy one. A little too fancy for our farmhouse, though. You know, one other place that actually works really well as a sideboard are the low dressers. Some of them. Like this one I actually really like as a sideboard, but that is too fancy for what we have going on here. Not liking either of those. All right. Let's go back here. Can y'all tell I don't actually plan these videos ahead of time? We use this one, I think, with a basket. There. And we could add that one does not come in a light color. Oh, there we go. Okay. Maybe just add some shelves above it. Nah, I don't like that. There we go. A little better. I think that is the best color. Part of what's happening right here is because the light is coming from this way, it's casting that sharp shadow. What you can do, head over, and lights are another one of those things that you can shrink them and it doesn't affect the light. This is the picture light, but you can use, any of these and kind of play with whichever gives you the best lighting. I like the picture one a lot for this type of thing because it tends to be very targeted. And so I'm only getting the light right there and I'm not making the entire room much, much brighter. Okay, I like that. I might just end up doing some art here. Got a lot of wall space, but I really don't want to put a bunch. We could put another, we could swap our window for another big window. Maybe. As we're using our short walls. Let's see. Ooh, actually, I kind of like. Okay, so this is a little unusual, but I think I like it. Different colors, but maybe. Decisions are hard, y'all. Maybe just with the picture windows? Maybe just one. What about just one big picture window in the center? And then we slide these guys right next to it. And take our curtains, put those there. I think that's really pretty. You get a lot of natural light in your kitchen then, or in your dining room. How's that look on the outside? I don't think I have one of these that has a wood edge to it. That's way too fancy. Oh. Hmm? Hmm? Hmm. Nah. Welcome to decision making or the lack thereof with Ellie. Um, I might just do a row of these. See how that looks. Line it up. Center this. Okay, I like that better. And then we can just take our curtains. Okay, that brings more joy for me. And you can absolutely, of course, play with whatever you like here. It is not a trap. I do hope you guys will share your versions because this is fun. Do I have yellow valance? No, that one's not. And you can always like layer curtains and different things too, so you can get all kinds of effects when you start playing with like let me combine stuff and put them on top of each other and see what works. Definitely want lighter things in here. Those feel too fancy. Those will not go all the way across. Oh, I think I'm going to stick with what I have going on. And you can absolutely take some of these and do all kinds of fun things with them. You can shrink them, you can enlarge them, you could like go, okay, cool, I want to have blinds as well, so I'm going to shrink these down and hang it up to where, actually I like that. I was just going to show y'all, but I like it, so I'm going to do that now. I think I'm going to have them one larger. Go back and enlarge that first one. There you go. And kind of create a custom curtain effect there. Let's see, that one back in. This one lined up. There we go. Pretty happy with that. Okay, I am going to head to the gallery for some art for sure. I've been thinking about this a little bit, rolling it around, and there are some nice pieces, but I know there's not anything that's quite what I want here. Like that's the closest, but there's only one of that that I used. Mm. The other thing that's really cool is the do, 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 do. Some of these are ooh. Having said that, that's actually really pretty. That's the Tech Guru one. I was trying to remember if the telescope prints were base game, but I don't remember where those show up at. But those are another really great place to get art. You can always pop in live mode and spawn them in as collectibles. Um, so this one's pretty too. But I think maybe. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now we've picked up that inner color. Alright. Got a yellow thing kind of going on there. There's a lot of these that I wish we just had a couple more that matched it. That would be easier to combine together. Looks like this one's pretty too, but this is like completely different frame styles. I just want everything, you know, typical sim player, right? All right, I'm going to, of course, because it's me, there's got to be some plants. Put the tulips here, a little bit more color. I think I actually want to put that up there. I'll do that in a second. Like these guys. I think that's going to go up as well. All right, I'm going to grab one of the shelves that has bigger slots. I don't know. This is where I might not be able to get around the floating. That only wants to snap on that, and I think this will not shrink enough that it's not going to show. This is the other thing with the shelves. It's sitting too far out from the wall. You can kind of see like it would be hanging off the shelf. Um, Unfortunately, there's not a thing I can do about that. It's just maxis. So you can do the thing. You'll see a lot of simmers use this, or streamers will use this trick where you use the shelf to set the height, and if there's nothing to snap to, it will stay at that height. So then you're not using. I don't know why that. Why did that one go? Interesting. Oh, you know what? It's because I still have that. Aha. There we go. Because it'll stay at that height. So then you don't have to play with using 9 and 0 and trying to guess exactly where that's going to be. It'll just already be there. So do the same thing with this one. And let's get that more out of the way. Rotate it. Okay. Put this back. There. Maybe just soft green. Nope. I can just leave that with the white. Let's see. You could put another set of salt and pepper shakers over here or on the table. You have the cookie jar. Who's got their fingers in the cookie jar? I kind of like it actually. Let's do that. We're gonna have a cookie jar in here. Somebody left the lid off. Oh no. All right. Things I do in The Sims that I would never ever in a gazillion years do in real life. Uh, a lot of times I will put a carpet under the table. I would never in a bazillion years put a carpet under the table in real life because I have children and If you have children, you understand. I mean, to be honest, even adults. But that's another choice. There's one you like. Let's see. You can kind of play with a couple of these and see if there's something that pops out. I actually do kind of like that. It's a little too big. Ooh, that's perfect sizing. I like that. Yeah. All right. I think I am pretty happy. We could tuck, you know, we could tuck another plant in the corner because why not? We put some sunflowers up at the center of our table. Well, we'll adjust that in a second. You can always put the bonsai tree, and then they'll spend their time, you know, trying to chop it. And put a little cart in the corner. Mm-hmm. I like the cart. I don't like that color though. Let's see. I'll just stick with a light color. And it's got some yellow and pink then too. And you could do the, you know, add more plants to it, things like that. We have to do the same thing right here because I'm using two tables instead of one. I'm just gonna pull one away, line it up at the center, and be a little OCD. There we go. Okay. All right. That's our doorway going out. I really like our dining room, y'all. And it's only a 20-minute video. Woohoo! Crazy. All right. Next time we will probably do these little areas right here, the bathrooms. We'll start that and then maybe into the garage workspace. All right. We'll see how much we can do.